Arnab Goswami on the debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a live feed coming in, and this is from the Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Can cut to it live, and I'll tell you what's going on. It's a very historic occasion. The Prime Minister has been just awarded the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Can we cut live, please? Thank you, producers. The Prime Minister has just been awarded the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the first foreign recipient of this award. And this is all part of a multi-nation tour of the Prime Minister. This is one of the longest tours of Prime Minister Modi in his 11th year of his prime ministership. And in some time from now, the Prime Minister will be addressing the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. We can go back to the live feed. Okay, and that is expected in some time, and we'll be cutting short to that in just a bit, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the big developing story of the day, and now it's time, when that happens, we'll cut live. Now it's time for the nation's sharpest opinion. Okay. Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the nation's sharpest opinion. And we had a comment of Lieutenant General Rahul R Singh, which we are going to be debating tonight, where he said, and this is the nation's sharpest opinion, where he said that we had one border and two adversaries, actually three. He said Pakistan was in the front, China was providing all possible support. 81% of the military hardware with Pakistan is Chinese. Essentially, the point the top General Rahul K. Singh made was that we were fighting three countries, not one. I want to play that clip. Is that clip there? We want to play that clip so that we understand what exactly happened. This is the backstory of Operation Sindoor. Please play the whole clip, please, producers.
Pakistan was the front face. We had China providing all possible support. And it's no surprise, because if you were to look at statistics, in the last 5 years, 81% of the military hardware that Pakistan is getting is all Chinese, 81% of that. So it's no surprise. And another thing that China perhaps has seen is that he is able to test his weapons against, say, various other weapon systems that are there. It's like a live lab which is available to. So it's a good, that is what is something we have to be very, very cognizant about. Again, Turkey also played a very important role in providing the type of support that was there.
So what this soundbite of the serving general is that it proves that we were fighting three countries, and that's the biggest point about Operation Sindoor, because he does make a point that China was testing its weapons, so this was a live lab available to them. It also makes you consider whether that's one of the reasons why we didn't stretch it beyond a point, because China, Turkey were using Pakistan as as a laboratory to test the nature of our response. Now, what was our response? Our response was so strong that this soundbite came in earlier today, where a top Pakistani politician, Rana Sanaullah, who's the right-hand man of the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, acknowledged. He said, we were zapped during Operation Sindoor. We couldn't understand what's going on because we got 30 to 45 seconds to assess whether a BrahMos cruise missile launched in India carried a nuclear warhead. And they were therefore, ladies and gentlemen, they were in such a spot. They were so nervous. Hear this clip and it'll tell you the impact that our attack had. Here, this is the Prime Minister's right-hand man in Pakistan. The Pakistani Prime Minister's right-hand man. Let's play the clip.
नाम क्या था उनके मिसाइल का? हरमूस मिसाइल. जब उन्होंने वो फायर किया और जो आके यहाँ पे नूर खान एयर बेस के ऊपर आगे लगा, तो पाकिस्तान की क़यादत के पास सिर्फ 30 या 45 सेकंड थे. ये यानी एक्नॉलेज या इसको एनालाइज करने में कि ये जो हरमूस मिसाइल आ रहा है, इसके साथ कोई यानी जो है वो एटमी मवाद तो नहीं है,
कोई एटमी बॉम्ब तो नहीं है. This is the way they were responding in Pakistan. Now, I'm putting these two soundbites in context because I think the whole Saboot gang, Kejriwal, Chidambaram, Digvijay Singh, Channi, Congress Party, Vadra Congress, which has been going on crazy and talking about the damage the Pakistanis did to us, they should listen to this and consider what they said. This is the Sabut gang. Whether after Balakot or whether after this Operation Sindoor, they keep questioning us. They keep questioning our army. They keep mocking. I still remember the visuals of Ajay Rai of the Congress party. Look at this soundbite of Mallikarjun Kharge saying that this is a chutput war. We will not forget these comments. This was not a chutput war, Congress party. This was a major strike, and we are proud of our armed forces. We are proud of our political decision-making that took it so far. This Sabut gang has been going crazy. This man said, top Rahul Gandhi's favorite man in Punjab, surgical strikes were not seen anywhere. Kejriwal, show me the proof of the surgical strike. Ajay Rai, Rafale are in their hangars just 48 hours, 24 hours before we attacked Pakistan. This was the man trying to demoralize the Indian army. Now, you saw those comments today. I want to show you some visual. This man was taking the Rafale and mocking it. The point is, these politicians who have no idea about strategy, defense, how geostrategic responses, intelligence, depth of nuclear capability. These people, they try to mock what our forces try to achieve. They should today replay, and that's why on the Nationalist Collective WhatsApp group, I will be keeping the soundbite of what General Rahul has said, because what he said must be listened to all of us. And anytime anyone is questioned by this Sabut gang, if this Sabut gang catches you anywhere and says, what did the Modi government do? What did the army do? Just play the soundbite of Lieutenant General Rahul R Singh, which we are putting in the Republic Nationalist Collective WhatsApp group to tell this Sabut gang to shut up. So if you're watching this, that's my advice to you. Thank you for your support to Republic. Thank you for your support to the Nationalist Collective. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shehbaz Sharif government acknowledges they had no seconds to respond, that they were in great trouble. But Rahul Gandhi asks our army the questions. Terrible. Some people will never change. Let's debate.
Firstly, one border, two adversaries. So we saw Pakistan one side, but adversaries were two, and if I would say actually four or three actually.
One border, three enemies, and yet India stood strong and defeated the adversaries. Making the big statement was Lieutenant General Rahul R Singh, Deputy Chief of Army Staff, who exposed the China, Pakistan and Turkey nexus against India.
Pakistan was the front face. We had China providing all possible support. And it's no surprise, because if you were to look at statistics, in the last 5 years, 81% of the military hardware that Pakistan is getting is all Chinese, 81% of that. So it's no surprise. And China, of course, the good old dictum, killed by a borrowed knife, 36 stratagems that China talks about, killed by a borrowed knife. So he would rather use the neighbor to cause pain than getting involved in the mud-slinging match on the northern borders.
It was not just support to Pakistan, but also how the Dragon had been able to test its weapons against others.
It's like a live lab which is available to it. So it's a good, that is what is something we have to be very, very cognizant about. Again, Turkey also played a very important role in providing the type of support that was there. The DGMO level talks were going on. Pakistan actually was mentioning that we know that your such and such important sort of vector is primed and it is ready for action. I would request you to perhaps, pull it back. So he was getting live inputs as far as from China. So that is one place we really need to move fast and take appropriate action.
The top army officer said that India had narrowed down 21 targets, of which 9 were considered prudent to engage and were finalized in the last hour.
Selection of targets was based on a lot of data that was collected, using technology and I would say human intelligence. So a total of 21 targets were actually sort of identified, out of which 9 targets we thought would be prudent to engage. It was only on the final day or the final hour that the decision was taken that these 9 targets would be engaged.
The message was clear. India should always be at the top of the escalation ladder.
The strategic messaging by leadership was unambiguous. You cross our red lines and there would be action, there would be punitive action if required. There is no scope of absorbing the pain the way we did a few years ago. So an important consideration was that we should always be on top of the escalation ladder. When we reach our political military objective, we should try and put a stop to it. There was a punch that was ready and they realized that that hidden punch, in case that comes through, Pakistan would be in a very, very bad condition. So that was the reason why they asked for a ceasefire.
India has taken a strong stand against Pakistan, deciding that no China parts will be used in military components, thereby boycotting the Dragon.
चाइनीज ड्रोन का सवाल है, आपको पता होगा मैंने लास्ट ईयर सितंबर में भी बताया था कि हम एक फ्रेमवर्क बना रहे हैं. वो फ्रेमवर्क हमारा बन गया है, वो भी अंडर अप्रूवल है. जब वो अप्रूव होएगा तो उसके हिसाब से टेस्टिंग करी जाएगी, जिससे कि ताकि हमारे कोई भी ड्रोन्स के अंदर सिक्योरिटी वल्नरेबिलिटीज ना हो.
And while India is celebrating its win, Pakistan's own ministers are mocking them.
हमने मिसाइल फायर किए जब उनकी तरफ, तो उनमें एक मिसाइल में कहीं पे कोई नंबर में फायर करते हुए कुछ फर्क आ गया. अब बड़े परेशान हुए सारे. जब मिसाइल फायर हो गया, चंद मिनट का टाइम होता है बीच में, तो हुआ ये कि हमें ये फिक्र था, क्योंकि हम नहीं चाहते थे कि इंडिया की किसी भी सिविल आबादी को अटैक करें या उनका कोई एक सिविलियन भी उसमें मारा जाए. अब बड़ी परेशानी लगी कि ये तो जाके आबादी में गिर जाएगा. अल्लाह की तरफ से क्या मदद आई. वही मिसाइल जाके उनका जो सबसे बड़ा ऑयल का डिपो था उसमें जाके लग गया और वो पूरी आबादी बच गई. और वहां पे आपने देखा होगा वीडियोस में, जो सबसे बड़ी वो आग वाली वीडियो वो उसकी है.
In another big admission by Pakistan, Shehbaz's close aide acknowledged that Pakistan only had 30 or 45 seconds to decide if India's BrahMos missile during Operation Sindoor was armed with a nuclear warhead.
नाम क्या था उनके मिसाइल का? हरमूस मिसाइल. जब उन्होंने वो फायर किया और जो आके यहाँ पे नूर खान एयर बेस के ऊपर आगे लगा, तो पाकिस्तान की क़यादत के पास सिर्फ 30 या 45 सेकंड थे. ये यानी एक्नॉलेज या इसको एनालाइज करने में कि ये जो हरमूस मिसाइल आ रहा है, इसके साथ कोई यानी जो है वो एटमी मवाद तो नहीं है.
Strategic prowess and technological superiority over a hostile tri-nation alliance comprising Pakistan, China and Turkey. This is what India's power is.
भारत माता की वंदे.
All famous faces tonight: General K.K. Sinha, Sushant Sareen, Ambassador Deepak Vora, Tausif Khan, Anmol Pawar of the Aam Aadmi Party, Adil Hassan of the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimeen, Abdul Razak of the Congress Party. I start with Ambassador Vora. Ambassador Vora, that was a fantastic soundbite, but a speech from Lieutenant General Rahul R Singh. And let me say what satisfaction I feel when I hear these army generals and people in uniform speak. That's the incredible thing, their knowledge, their depth, their understanding, their strategic insight, their knowledge of the enemy. Oh, I felt so proud hearing the Deputy Army Chief speak. He said, we fought and beat not one but three. And still these people asked for sabut. He said we beat Turkey and China and Pakistan, and still these people say, oh, how many jets did we lose? You know, they just want to extract water out of a rock. Deepak Vora, what do you think of the present context, that speech and the debate it stirs?
Well, thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure to be with you. I'm right now in a place that you're familiar with, all military people are familiar with, Siliguri.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm here attending a chartered accountants conference. And I must tell you, everybody here, sir, watches your channel, they adore you. And also today, what we are discussing right now, let me put it across to you like this, sir. And General Saab is there, brilliant people on your panel. What does China want? Let me, you know, the military officers, of course, have said it very clearly. General Saab sitting here, General Sena is here. What does China want? China's enemy, it wants to fight the United States. It sees India as a distraction. So it has outsourced this conflict to its colony called Pakistan. It wants to fight India to the last Pakistani. And the colony is willing to do that. So do we trust China? Is the moon made of blue cheese? No, not at all, sir. You will understand, sir, and you have been promoting this. Are people within the country who say, give us proof, give us this? Sir, please send them off to the Shaksgam Valley, which Pakistan has sold to China some years ago. And they are now going to sell, take my word, sir, they are going to sell Gilgit-Baltistan to China to repay the debt that they owe to China. This is going to happen very quickly. Therefore, sir, we have performed brilliantly. We have taught the Chinese a lesson, we have taught the Pakistanis a lesson, and Turkey had better learn very quickly. The Prime Minister went to Greece, he went to Cyprus. They had better learn that we can carry the war in your backyard. So today, sir, I stand tall. And thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Goswami, sir. Thank your channel for bringing to the people of India.
Thank you very much, sir. The best way, I say, Abdul Razak, to shut up Rahul Gandhi. The best way to shut up Rahul Gandhi is to let the army men talk. Yeah, I mean, this man he doesn't change. He attacks Jaishankar, he attacks India, he says Jaishankar is quiet, army people are quiet. He says, you know, and today we heard Shehbaz Sharif's man say we were in such a dangerous situation. But Rahul Gandhi's problem is that he tries to weaken India's narrative. I don't know, I'm not saying that it is because he's got an agreement with the Chinese. Absolutely not. But he has no understanding of warfare. He has no understanding of strategic deterrence. He has no understanding of defense. And the Congress was keen to say that Pakistan faced no damage. He was keen to say we gave a tip-off. I mean, sorry, but you must be mad to say that when our Deputy Chief of Staff said we fought Pakistan, Turkey, China, you know, halke fulke comments karne nahi chahiye. Jinko pata nahi hai, chup rehna chahiye. Razak ji, है ना, मैं सीधी भाषा में आपको बोल रहा हूँ और बाकी जो whatever Rahul Gandhi says, then Mallikarjun Kharge has to say.
Arnab ji, definitely a big salute to the armed forces. There is absolutely no doubt about the bravery that they displayed during Operation Sindoor. But I would like to start from May, June 2020 when we had problems with China at the Indo-Chinese border. When Modi ji, as a political decision, he gave a clean chit to China. Since then, we have been asking for a discussion in the parliament. Why is the government shying away? And why is the information about Operation Sindoor coming in bits and pieces?
Bits and Operation Sindoor.
We already informed Pakistan.
What bits and pieces?
Striking.
What do you want? What do you want? No, what do you want? What do you mean bits and pieces?
I'm telling you.
No, this is one. Bits and pieces. Every army person has come and spoken. The Deputy Chief of Army Staff has spoken. The Chief of Army Staff has spoken. The Chief of Defence Staff has spoken. The Joint Chief has spoken. The DGMO has spoken. The DG of Air has spoken. The DG of Navy has spoken. But you only want to hear it from Robert Vadra. You got a problem. You got a Vadra complex.
Sir,
God, no.
Navy Captain Shiv Kumar ji says that we lost jets. Today, Deputy Army Chief says
Oh
that
God, I hate this.
supported Pakistan.
I hate this, man.
We are asking the
hate
government
this.
to have a discussion in the parliament. Why is the government shying away to have a discussion in the parliament?
Discussion with whom, for God's sake?
What exactly?
With anti-national people who want to use parliament to run the army down?
Sir, how can you call the opposition party?
I am saying those who run down our army are anti-national.
Sir, the opposition
Those who run down our army are anti-national, are they not?
The opposition MPs.
Those who run down my country are against my national interests. I will not hear this compromise anymore.
How did Modi ji give a clean sheet in 2020?
I swear these people
June
are so
2020,
irritating.
we
I'll have
had
to open the
Galwan.
lines tonight to
Modi
shut
ji
them up.
said,
Sushant,
"Not
sorry.
China has come inside."
I can't
So
take.
let them have a discussion. Let the nation know.
Sushant, Congress will
अहमदाबाद में
never
तो बहुत
change.
झूला झूलाए थे. सर झूला झूले थे शी जिनपिंग के साथ. क्या हुआ? What about our foreign relations?
him, so you have
Why are they so bad? Nobody.
1 minute, Sushant, he'll finish. Yeah. Have you finished now? Now let Sushant Sarin speak. Sushant.
Yeah, look, I think the opposition parties are going to make a lot of noise. And I can understand part of it is their politics. Part of it, I don't know. I don't know whether this kind of politics will pay them any kind of dividends. But look, on the larger point, the parliament is going to be in session, I think, on the 10th, if I'm not mistaken. They can certainly raise this issue. And I personally have no objections if there is a debate on Op Sindoor, and not just Op Sindoor, in fact, on India's defense postures, India's diplomacy, a range of things. This is part and parcel of Parliament's job. I don't have a problem with it. In fact, I would expect, rather than, this kind of silly, puerile kind of nonsense which we keep hearing from very seniors and seasoned opposition politicians, if they can come out with suggestions to beef up Indian security, I think that will be good for India. So that is that aside. But let's come down to the more serious and substantive stuff, which is General Singh's, statement today, or his talk.
Yes.
And I think it's very interesting, Arnab, from what we hear, what we heard him. One, look, I agree that all wars, small and big, are also live labs for new weapon systems that are being tested. Weapon systems actually are tested in a warlike situation. And whether it was in Syria, whether it is in Lebanon, whether it is in Iran versus Israel, weapon systems are tested, doctrines are tested, tactics are tested. That's par for the course. And we have a very distinguished general sitting with us. He will tell you that these are things which Indian Army officers at various levels will study during the various courses that they do. So nothing extraordinary about that. What I think is important is this thing that the Chinese involvement, we've always known that there is a collusivity between China and Pakistan. That the Chinese have been hand in glove, they've been beefing up Pakistan's defenses, giving them all sorts of equipment, they've given them the missile technology, they've given them nuclear technology, they've done everything. But they have been in the background. This is probably the first time that the Chinese came out relatively openly and took this association or collusion to the next level, which was in terms of real-time sharing of data, satellite imagery, information systems, all of that the Chinese were giving them in real time. So to that extent, there was the Chinese factor which was at play. And as far as the Turks are concerned, look, at one level, the Turks gave utter rubbish. I think the Turkish nonsensical drones have been found out by the Indian Armed Forces and were shot through, like they were paper tigers. But the important thing is that there are some reports that there were Turkish officers who were there in some of the bases that we hit.
Yes, the Air Force.
A couple of casualties also of the Turks. So to that extent, I think the Turks were involved, and they did make a show of force on the high seas when they sent a couple of their shitty ships to the Arabian Sea. But look, the Turks have been against India for 1,500 years. Islamic invasions came into India through the Turks. Mahmud of Ghazni was a Turk. So the Turks, I don't think you should ever trust the Turks anyways, right? They're scum, as far as I am concerned, in my book. And this Erdogan fellow, he thinks he's a jihadi in a suit, so good luck to him. But I think it is important for us to understand that next time around when we are going, and I think that was very critical what the general said, that we need to ensure that our air defense systems are top of the line and we continue to enjoy the kind of advantage which we displayed this time around. Because next time, as he himself says, that we might be faced with a situation where population centers are likely to be targeted, because that could be the lesson, and which is what we are hearing from Pakistan.
Very important.
Which the Pakistanis have taken from Iran, which could not hit Israeli military targets, so targeted their cities, targeted their population centers, and tried to cause as much civilian casualty as they could to try and put pressure on Israel. This is a lesson which we need
if you
to
listen to,
we might follow it next time around.
If you hear what Sushant has said, you realize, Anmol and Tausif and Adil, that it is a very complex situation we have handled. ये कोई हंसी मजाक की बात नहीं है, कोई गिल्ली डंडा खो-खो मैच नहीं है. We have handled 3 countries together. See, look at the number of victories under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's political leadership. Our surgical strikes 1, surgical strikes 2, Galwan, Doklam, eyeball to eyeball contact. We pushed the Chinese back. And this time the Chinese did it through an alibi. Right? You understand, Anmol, Tausif, right? Through the alibi of Pakistan. But as Sushant rightly said, real-time intelligence, sharing of data, air shield, defensive and aggressive postures all backed, diplomatic support, everything coming from China and Turkey. And we withstood that. Anmol, Tausif, I'm saying shed the cynicism. I'll give you a start. But take a pro-nation stand. Tausif.
No, pro-nation stand does not mean that I have to praise Narendra Modi. I praise my defense forces. I praise my Indian Air Force and Indian Navy and Indian Army. They did a tremendous, wonderful job because they were against China. Pakistan was just their front liner. There was China behind it, as one of the general himself said. 81% of the military hardware from China. Real-time intelligence sharing, satellite images sharing, all done by China. Therefore, Indian forces, our defense forces, we are very proud. They have done a tremendous, very good job.
No, but therefore, now that you've been chastised, you are taking this position. So, Anmol, this position is being taken now because you're being chastised by the Deputy Chief of Army Staff. Can Rahul Gandhi take on the Deputy Chief of Army Staff?
The question is, the mindset of these BJP ministers who was calling Colonel Sophia sister of terrorists.
No, I don't want your politics. This is a serious discussion. Anmol, this is a serious discussion. Anmol, this is a serious situation.
Pakistan
this is war, sir. You don't talk like this.
What is our Indian diplomacy doing?
Sir, you don't do this, sir. After the blood of 166 Indians was shed in 2611, I know what your Prime Minister did. Manmohan Singh.
Arnab, can I come in?
Anmol, yeah.
Arnab, no amount of praise is enough for the unmatched courage of our armed forces displayed during Operation Sindoor. Those moments fill every Indian with pride. But 3 critical questions remains unanswered today. The people, the families of the 26 innocent people who lost their lives in Pahalgam attack are asking 3 important questions, which the BJP-led central government must answer. That when will those 4 terrorists will be caught? Who has been held accountable for this cowardly
Who has been held
attack?
accountable?
And
Pakistan. I don't know where you are saying, why you are not sure. You're an Indian citizen. Why are you not sure who's been held accountable? Who? You hold Mozambique accountable. Who do you hold accountable exactly? Who does Kejriwal hold accountable?
No.
Why are you asking that rhetorical question with a bad flourish?
Let me complete.
Why do you ask these questions?
4 आतंकवादी पकड़े गए क्या आज तक? किसकी जवाबदेही तय हुई? बता दीजिए पूरे देश को. The nation wants to know in your trademark style.
Well, I think you're trying to undermine the armed forces. Let me tell you, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you take on a backpack, pick up a gun and find the 4 terrorists yourself, if you're so smart? Don't do this. Again, you are using, even here you are using an opportunity to run down the army. Sorry, I want General Sinha. You see what happens in General Sinha when a politician
10
like
seconds. Can I complete?
No, what will you complete? What will you complete?
10 seconds.
What about Ministry of Home Affairs?
You claim
Ministry
that,
of Home Affairs? What Ministry of Home Affairs? Your Ministry of Home Affairs said that Ishrat Jahan was not a terrorist. Your Minister Chidambaram said Ishrat Jahan is not a terrorist. You want me to remind you?
Sir, we are spending so much on intelligence.
Oh, now you
Sir,
question
Home
the security
Affairs
services.
should answer. Amit Shah ji should answer. Who? Sir, I am saying, where is the intelligence? How could so many people gather there without any security?
Yeah, where was your intelligence when 26/11 happened?
Army? I have visited Kashmir. I know for every...
I know my
3
country
kilometers I
will
was checked.
respond now.
It
I
took
didn't
4
know
hours to reach the
when the
airport.
Congress was in power.
Sir,
When the Congress was in power, I'll tell you, there was unfortunately a Prime Minister called Manmohan Singh, a terrible Prime Minister, a very, very corrupt government, a very weak
sir,
Prime Minister.
he handled Indian
A
economy.
weak forget he handled Indian economy. He didn't do anything for the Indian
Today when we
economy.
have unemployment,
Listen, I know how many scams happened in his time.
India
Listen
was
to
not
me.
suffering.
Just ask for 10 seconds.
No, I'll just say one
Carrying on.
India is suffering.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
One minute.
too much.
India was not
I don't want to do
suffering.
politics on
Irrelevant.
this. I don't want to do politics on this, but I will say that
What about intelligence? foreign
can you be
relations?
quiet? I'll tell you.
एक देश हमारे साथ नहीं खड़ा सर.
Anyway, listen, he said after 26/11, he said Pakistan has agreed to a judicial commission. This was your government. You want me to embarrass you? Sharm aati hai? General K.K. Sinha. General Sinha.
Arnab, can I
Who
complete?
invited?
General K.K. Sinha is on the debate.
Good
General
evening,
Sinha.
Arnab. Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Congress leader go
Good
to
evening.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Any
Good
Congress
evening.
leader go to...
See, friend, you have asked for 10 seconds. You are carrying on. Why you are yapping, which is nothing to do with
great,
this.
great,
Today,
fantastic.
Deputy Chief, we should feel so proud of it. We should be feeling so proud that he talked about tactical, operational, strategic level. And Arnav, what was the punch? We were with the top of escalatory ladder every time. And, the Chinese came and they said there is a hidden, punch, a vector. Otherwise, they just kneeled down and, came for this ceasefire. See, what is today, what the deputy has brought it, and I'm feeling so proud of it. They're hearing him, the sound bites, and you have given the sound bites. And the sound bites coming from Pakistan of Rana Sanullah, who was talking about of Harmos missile, BrahMos, he can't spell it out, and which went to the Nur Khan. Now, coming to the point, what deputy has brought out, first part was that, we are facing, 3 adversaries on the same frontier. And then we have taken it so beautifully that it was retributed in 4 days' time. And then we achieved our all aim, remained on the top of the escalatory ladder with the 3 adversaries. See, the Chinese, when you say the 81% of their weapon and equipment and their complete system, whether you call it, the PL-15E, which we have seen lying on the field there, yeah, their J-17, J-10, MQ-9, 10, all this air defense system, their satellite was giving, 20 satellites were giving the live, feed to Pakistan. And they were defeated, not a single place, 1,300 kilometer frontier. I don't know, it is not a joke. And 3 nations might was there, and not a single thing has able to penetrate through you. Any armed forces of the world can demonstrate this type of actual live fighting.
Not one.
And then, of course, he is saying, nowhere. And then you get, because, it is a art. It is an art in war that, you achieve your military aims, and then you exit fast. No one is able to do it. Just see the what Russian and Ukrainians are doing. What, you see Israel, Iran is doing. They are not able to, and you fulfill your military aim and come out on the top. You remain the top of the escalatory ladder, and then you say that the operation has not stopped. Mind you, Operation Sindoor has not stopped. It has just been halted. Your retribution by, your Indus Water Treaty is still on. See, it is a part of water war, this is a part of it. Then the bogey which, Rana Sanullah was talking about, BrahMos coming over there 30 to 45 seconds, and they were not knowing whether it is nuclear-tipped BrahMos. And see, this bogey we have defeated, and this is the biggest bogey. No one has done it. See, Americans learned from it. Trump learned from, with Indian armed forces and other leadership, especially Modi, and they tried it in Iran. It is the same thing. Otherwise, they would not have gone. I can tell you, this is just copy-paste. They are doing it. What India did it alone, with three. And, you can't take it Chinese as a joke. China is the military might. We know that, and we respect that. And this is exactly what, Deputy was trying to bring it out. When they are testing their weapon system in a combat situation which is miserably failed, let it be PL-15E, it is a beyond the visual range missile, which is air-to-surface missile lying in our field. And it is, the Americans wanted to come, Taiwanese wanted to come and see this, what is this missile, why it failed. So, not giving the credit. And, see, armed forces won. But who has given this open-handed that you select your target?
That is the point.
21 targets on the day one was selected, and 9 we have taken. 9. Markaje Toiba, Markaje Subhanallah. These are of Laskar-e Toiba and, of Jaise Mohammed and Bhawalpur and Marutke. See, is it a joke to kill about 100? And he's talking about
they want to.
Someone who was there
General KK,
in the channel.
General KK, they want to separate between. No, I'll tell you. General KK, these people, Deepak ji, their intention is very simple. They want to draw a divide between the Prime Minister of India and the Chief of Army Staff, between the Prime Minister of India and the Army, Navy and Air Force. And I call that very malicious. When you say Narinder surrender, you are not insulting the Prime Minister of India alone. You're also insulting the armed forces which have fought under the direction, leadership and free hand given by the elected Prime Minister of India. I don't know how to make this point. You are more eloquent than me, sir.
Jets due to political constraints. That is the statement in Jakarta by the Air Force officer.
Tausif, may I let Deepak ji put you in your place?
Due to the political constraints. So we have to admit it. Why our diplomacy failed.
Our diplomacy did not fail. Our army did not fail. Our government did not fail. Rahul Gandhi has failed again.
Pakistan got the funding and we are cheering. Yes, they got the funding. We have done a good job.
I need
our
to see.
Diplomacy has failed.
Please, when you call names to the Prime Minister, you're calling names to the army. Deepak ji, can I get you to put these people in your place? Anmol, after Deepak, please, can you just let Deepak... After Deepak, I will come to you. Anmol, why don't you just debate directly with Deepak? Okay, Deepak ji will make his point, then you can counter him if you wish. It's a debate.
When I'm not even allowed to make my opening remarks.
No. You made your. Okay, so you will debate with Deepak. You make your remarks to Deepak.
Arnabji, not even 30 seconds.
No. That's not true, Anmol. You make your point, right, and then Deepak will respond. I am saying we defeated 3 countries. The hashtag tonight is India versus Pak, China, Turkey. You make your point. But when Deepak Vora responds to your specific point, and in response to my overall point that you must not try and drive a wedge between the Army, Navy, Air Force and the government of the country. When you call it a chutput war, you are driving that wedge.
Arnabji, there's no doubt that it was the Congress party which echoed Pakistan's sentiment during.
Why are you echoing the Congress sentiment?
इन्होंने कहा छुटपुट war हुई. They said that कितने रफाल गिरे. These were the kind of narratives, these were the kind of questions which Congress party was asking. But you claimed that Arvind Kejriwal is part of the same Saboot gang. I openly challenged you to play the full video during the last debate, but you didn't dare to. When it came to facts, you backed off because all you peddle is fabricated narratives. Not
I will ignore all your personal comments.
Today also, I challenge you.
I will ignore your personal comments.
I'll tag that debate along with your
Twitter handle of your channel.
You
and
can
I
do
challenge
tag
you
anything.
come
You
out
take
free.
my name to get a few following. There are many people like you who like to have a fight with me. Put a clip so that some people say, oh, you responded to Arnab. Then you make a big claim. I put Arnab in my place and 5 people say, great. ये सब खेल तमाशा मत करो मेरे साथ. बहुत experienced journalist हूँ मैं अनमोल. I've been.
I'll clap 10 times. I'll clap 10 times. Corona accept challenge.
I understand. Do you know what a JF-27 fighter jet is? Do you know what a J-10 is? Do you know what a PL-15 long-range air-to-air missile is? Do you know what a HQ defense system is? Do you know what a HQ-16 defense system is? What do you know?
What I know.
What do you know?
What I know.
What do you know? What do you know about clandestine diplomacy, geostrategy? What do you know about anything? You only know about Sharab Ghotala.
I know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
When you don't know, don't talk.
I know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has crisscrossed the globe in search of strategic allies and photo ops. He has traveled more than 150 countries.
Such a
and when we need
shallow approach.
Not even 2 countries backed us during Operation Sindoor. Bataiye kaun sa desh hai? Today the hard reality is that the Uttar Pradesh government is inviting Chinese investment. Today Pakistan has been made chair to the Taliban Security Committee, and Pakistan has been elected as a non-permanent member of UNSC, receiving 182 out of 193 votes. Ye hai reality. This foreign policy of Modi government is the biggest failure. Ye kitne hi desh ghum chuke ho, even then they required delegations from opposition party to go to the neighboring countries और उन्हें बताने के लिए हमारी आर्मी ने कितना बहादुरी का काम किया है, जो पराक्रम हमारी सेना ने दिखाया है, वो बताने के लिए विपक्ष की जरूरत पड़ी. ये है सरकार की फॉरेन पॉलिसी, एकदम फेल.
Well, I really feel that you're making it political. Please understand bigger issues. Kabhi thoda show some depth, Anmol. Deepak Vora will explain to you what I'm trying to say to you. Okay, you don't want to listen to me, you don't want to learn from me, learn from Deepak Vora. Sir, please educate him, sir, about the strategic alliance we took on.
But Arnab ji, before that, बताइए आप मेरा चैलेंज स्वीकार कर रहे हैं या नहीं? मैंने आपको कहा था वीडियो चला दीजिए जहां हमने सबूत मांगा, आप पीछे हट गए. आज आप दोबारा पीछे हट रहे हैं. ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्यों अपनी व्यूअर्स को गुमराह कर रहे हैं? बताइए, चैलेंज एक्सेप्ट करते हैं या नहीं?
Okay, see, I am not here to accept challenges with you. देश की बात कर रहे हैं. आप और हम क्या हो?
देश की कर रहे हैं ना, गुमराह क्यों कर रहे हो देश को?
आप देखो, अर्दोगन एंड पाकिस्तान आर ऑल वेदर एलाइज. कभी आप बड़ी बात करिए.
माफी मांग लीजिए, कह दीजिए आपने अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के बारे में गलत कहा. उन्होंने कभी कोई सबूत नहीं मांगा.
मेरे जीवन में मेरे जिस दिन आपके नेता अरविंद केजरीवाल की हिम्मत होगी कि मेरे सामने आके 1-to-1 इंटरव्यू करे, है ना, उसके बाद मैं बात कर लूंगा. तब तक आपका कोई हक नहीं बनता मेरे से माफी मांगने की. अब मैं पॉलिटिकल डिबेट नहीं कर रहा.
तो हम तो कहेंगे ना आपसे, और क्या कहें?
आप कुछ भी बोलते हैं. मैं भारत देश के बारे में, मैं आपके पर्सनल पॉलिटिक्स बाद में करूंगा. मैं डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हो रहा हूं. मैं कह रहा हूं पाकिस्तान यूज्ड टर्किश ड्रोन्स टू अटैक इंडिया, सो द डेप्यूटी चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ इज करेक्ट. पाकिस्तान यूज देयर एयर आर्मर, डेप्यूटी चीफ इज करेक्ट. बड़ी बातें कीजिए. देखिए, ये अचीवमेंट. अरे भाई, आपकी एक ही शंका है, जहां पे शंका वही लंका. मेरी बात सुनिए, मेरी बात. ओ गॉड, आई मीन, please understand what I'm saying. Yeah, see, you are worried that the Shrey will go to Prime Minister. The Shrey goes to the country, the government, Prime Minister, all the same. Please understand. Don't be very small in your approach, please. Deepak Vora, please don't wait your turn, because he's making me go through this agony tonight.
Arnab ji, yesterday in your show, you said that nationalists are calling for a complete ban on Pakistan, 0 exceptions. बताइए फिर क्यों जो है हॉकी टीम को बुलाया जा रहा है?
I am criticizing that. I am criticizing that.
क्यों इंडिया बुलाया
I am criticizing. Everybody knows I am critical of that decision.
प्रदेश में बुलाया जा रहा है.
I am critical of that decision. Oh God, आप बोल ही रहे. But what is this about?
When we opposed IMF funding to Pakistan, not a single nation stood with us. We stood diplomatically alone. That's the harsh reality.
Yeah, we'll have to be
That's
alone.
foreign policy.
Hey, when we are going to
That's
play
a
the
failure
great
of
power
leadership.
game, हम middle power नहीं है, great power बनना पड़ेगा, तो अकेला चलो रे करना पड़ेगा. उसके लिए हिम्मत और रीढ़ की हड्डी की जरूरत होती है, which is courage and a spine which you did not have. You as in Congress party, not you. Don't react to that. Deepak Vora, please come in. Otherwise, he will make me go through this one-to-one agony with him. Yes.
But then he wasn't stopping.
No problem.
I've been 52 years in diplomacy and counting. Let me assure you that our diplomatic situation today in the world is the best it has ever been, sir. मुझे 52 साल हो गए. आप अभी कह रहे हो who stood with us, sir? जब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, you expect the whole world to take sides? नहीं सर. किसने क्रिटिसाइज किया था ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को, सर? नेम द कंट्री, सर. बताइए कौन से देश ने बोला गलत किया? लीव आउट पाकिस्तान, लीव आउट टर्की एंड लीव आउट चाइना. और किसने बोला खराब किया, सर? हम लोग नहीं करते ये डिप्लोमेसी में. कौन कहता है कि ये गलत किया है? Nobody criticized it. Privately, आपके हथियार खरीदने आ रहे हैं. कितने देश हैं? 27, सर. बता देता हूं. Verify your facts, sir. This was a resounding diplomatic success. अगर हमसे नाराज होते, कितने देशों ने आमंत्रण दिया आपके प्रधानमंत्री को? कितने देशों ने अपने highest awards दिए हैं, sir?
Very well, sir.
This is recognition of the leadership of India. चाणक्य पढ़िएगा, sir. हम लोग ये नहीं कहते कि अच्छा तूने क्रिटिसाइज नहीं किया तो फिर मेरा दोस्त नहीं है. This doesn't happen in diplomacy, sir. We don't go around. Sir, today Thailand. Sir, let me complete, sir. I did not interrupt you, sir. थोड़ा सा आप इस बात में मेरी सुन लीजिएगा. Thailand and Cambodia are lobbing missiles at each other. How many are standing with Thailand? How many are standing with Cambodia? हम किसी की तरफ नहीं जाते हैं, sir. This is not done in diplomacy. You don't foreclose your options. So therefore, sir, what the Deputy Army Chief has said, every Indian stands much taller. 3 देशों को हमने ठोका है, sir. 1965, 71, 99, China did not come out openly. They made a noise, but not in support of Pakistan. Now they have. Now the whole game has changed. So China has come out openly and Bharat will deal with them, sir. This is what the Prime Minister is saying. Please trust your diplomats. Please trust your military. We know what we are doing.
Correct. And don't... Yeah.
चाणक्य की संतान है, sir. हम डिप्लोमेसी दुनिया को सिखा सकते हैं, sir. Please don't fault your diplomats.
What's going on?
We have performed brilliantly.
Sir, with folded hands, because you are so learned, also tell the families of those 26 innocent souls that why is the government failed to catch those 4 terrorists, those dreaded terrorists,
I'll let Sushant.
who has been held accountable for that.
May I suggest you go to Kashmir, sir? You go to that area and catch the terrorists. We'll give you whatever support you want. I'll request the police to accompany you. You go catch those people, sir. कहना बड़ा आसान है, sir.
दीपक वोरा.
करना बड़ा आसान है.
Great Prime Minister.
बड़ी कड़वी होती है. Don't bring politics into it. This is a matter of national interest. The country stands by the. Sir, you are isolated. You are making your situation worse. You are driving away the few people who would support you. The country today is solidly behind Bharat, behind Republic Television, and behind the person whose name you've heard of. His name is Narendra Bhai Damodar Das Modi. I'm proud to serve a country that has him as Prime Minister, sir.
Bharat is made of 140 crore
थोड़ा सा
Indians
डिप्लोमेसी के बारे में सीख लीजिए, sir.
And those 26 people were also.
I would like Sushant to come in. Sushant, you see now there is a you see now this is the problem. This is the problem, you know. This is the problem. Tausif, what's the problem? Yeah, Tausif, you're also coming in now. What is the Trinamool Congress's contribution to foreign policy now?
What kind of diplomacy was that? What kind of diplomacy was that? Colonel Sophia was called sister of terrorists. Bharat stands by the public channel. All these nonsense you're saying.
Issues, sir. मैं अंतरराष्ट्रीय issue की बात कर रहा हूँ. Which fellow in Nicaragua criticized Colonel Sophia, sir? Do you know? Which person in Peru criticized her? Which person in Mongolia?
Why are you so scared of criticizing
sir,
BJP minister?
Don't bring domestic issues.
Sir,
why
are we concerned?
Those people talk about India, sir.
Please condemn you as a great general. Openly condemn BJP ministers.
52 years of
people like
see the,
I plead with you, sir. You are a political person. Please don't demean.
We did howdy
Please don't demean yourself. Sir, if you don't have the
we
knowledge,
campaigned for Trump in America. Our Prime Minister campaigned for Trump in America.
You see, this is a very, Sushant, are you understanding the gap? You know, the problem in our country is...
Pakistan after Operation Sindoor.
Yes, correct. Razak, can you just stop because you're sounding...
Campaign for Trump, howdy Modi.
You're sounding about as intelligent as Robert Vadra right now. Now my point is,
बात होती है तो सिर्फ एक जवाब दे रहे हैं सर.
correct. Now my point is, you see, Sushant, the problem is somewhere we must begin an exercise to make every leader of the opposition understand that you cannot draw a divergence with what they've been trying. We are with the army, but we are against Modi. You may be against Modi as a person, but the army doesn't operate without the leadership of the defense minister, prime minister, the civilian leadership. This point, if we don't have solidarity on it, Sushant, I'm sorry, but it's misrepresentation to the world.
Okay, so can I suggest,
yes,
if I was ever come into government in a position of responsibility, I would probably give you maybe not Bharat Ratna, but certainly a Padma Vibhushan for putting up with this kind of stuff day in, day out,
so I have to take the effort.
Into the same puerile stuff night after night. I really think you deserve a national award, but on the more preventive issue. Yeah, this very clearly is dog whistling. What these gentlemen are trying.
National award for peddling lies.
I think there is any other. You keep quiet now. You had your say now. You were talking for 15 minutes. This is typical Aam Aadmi Party type dog whistling. He is so bothered about those 26 families. Ask him to tell us the names.
You don't have the guts to accept the reality.
Bothered about them, na. Ask him to tell us, na. Because he agitated about it. He can't name even two. So leave these people aside. This is their petty level politics, mohalla level politics which they do. Aam Aadmi Party has been exposed. So forget about that. I would have imagined that other mainstream would operate even greater, with some more gravitas. I have no problems with opposition parties criticizing the government and asking questions of it. I don't think anybody of us can have any problems with that. That is what democracy is all about. That governments have to be responsible, oppositions have to hold their feet to fire. Right? I don't have an issue. But the level at which top leaders of the Congress party, for example, go and the levels to which they descend, it just puts a very bad taste in the mouth. But again, just come back to some of the issues which were raised. Incidentally, just as a point of correction for Ambassador Vora, the Chinese actually did not forget criticizing us. They just expressed dejection when the conflict started. They didn't criticize us. So when you say who was standing with us, forget Turkey and Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a third-rate bloody place, as is Turkey. But other than that, you tell me no country, did we, for example, is that the failure of NATO or Russian diplomacy? Did we say we endorse everything Russia is doing? And did we say that we criticize Russia? We did. We will not. We will walk the tightrope. Diplomacy is about tightrope walking on most occasions. Unless you have an enmity with the country, then you will openly side with your enemy's enemy. That you will walk the tightrope because you have multiple interests. Look, a country like India.
No, I have a question.
Multiple interests.
I have a question.
We have interests in countries.
I have a question.
No, we are not going to spoil our relationship simply because somebody else's relationship is bad. So if the Americans are fighting the Russians, we will walk the tightrope. If the Europeans are fighting the Russians, we are walking the tightrope.
I have a question. I have a question. I come take it on the chin from these people every night. They have done everything from abusing me, send me to jail or whatever. Now my point is, I have a question. I'll take my revenge tonight. It's a Friday evening. I will take my revenge. बहुत हो गया भाई. अब मैं एक सवाल पूछूंगा इनको. ये तीन जो महानुभाव यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं, इनमें से एक मुझे, और मैं हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश शब्द से एक मुझे बताए कि PL-15 किस तरह की मिसाइल होती है. इतने जानकार ज्ञानी लोग हैं ना. कैन एनी वन ऑफ देम, थ्री ऑफ देम एक्सप्लेन टू मी? आप बोलो गूगल सर्च.
एक अर्नब जी
हमारे जो फ्लाइट जेट्स गए थे ना पाकिस्तान, क्योंकि क्लाउड्स थे, रडार के नीचे नहीं आएंगे.
गूगल करो.
जो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक हुआ था ना, तो मोदी जी ने कहा
PL-15 किस तरह की मिसाइल है, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मिसाइल इज इट?
ये हमारा पॉलिटिकल डिसीजन है.
Long range, medium range,
I have
short
a better
range,
understanding
surface
than the
to
Prime
air,
Minister.
air to surface, air to air.
I
बताइए.
have a better understanding
Fastest
than the
finger
Prime Minister.
first. Phone a friend.
Sir, I have better understanding than
Flop
the Prime
show.
Minister.
Flop
A
show.
plus B is
Flop
equal
show.
to A plus B square
अरे
is equal
छोड़
to
दीजिए. They
2AB,
don't know the
that is
difference between
16
PLL
missile.
15 and PSLV. इनका क्या होगा? क्या होगा
16
इनको?
missile, you know
At least
what
know
Modi
that
ji
the
said.
fighter jet can fly above the clouds.
Modi ji
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. And the Prime Minister's speech in the Trinidad and Tobago Parliament is going to be carried. A fantastic speech at 10 o'clock tonight. We had a great panel. We had a great debate. And I got some sweet revenge at the end. And I shall see you soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very